There's a quiet difference between a home that feels lived in and one that feels overwhelmed by life. You might not always be able to explain it, but your nervous system notices immediately. Some spaces invite you to exhale. Others quietly ask your mind to stay alert. A truly lived-in home doesn't shout its story. It tells it gently, through rhythm, restraint, and intention. When we walk into a room, our brains begin scanning automatically. Colors, objects, textures, surfaces. In cluttered spaces, that scanning never stops. Every object asks for attention. Every surface competes to be noticed. Over time, this creates subtle fatigue, even in our own homes. But in a thoughtfully curated space, something different happens. The eye finds places to rest. The mind slows down. And meaning becomes easier to notice. A single family photograph feels more powerful when it isn't surrounded by dozens of other items. A handmade piece of pottery carries more weight when it has space to breathe. Visual calm doesn't erase your story, it allows your story to speak. This principle applies everywhere. Homes, offices, waiting rooms. Our nervous systems don't change based on the setting. They're always looking for clarity, order, and ease. The most meaningful spaces aren't built by displaying everything at once. They're shaped by selection. Think of your home as a living gallery, one that evolves over time. Not every memory needs to be visible all the time to remain important. Rotating meaningful objects allows different chapters of your life to come forward, without overwhelming the space. Empty space plays a powerful role here. It isn't wasted. It's intentional. Negative space gives objects their voice. Without it, even beautiful things blur together. Artwork, photographs, furniture. Everything benefits from breathing room. The most authentic lived-in spaces are built in layers. First, the foundation, furniture and layout that support daily life. Then, the deeper layer, artwork, books, heirlooms, pieces that reflect who you are over time. And finally, the light layer, seasonal items, current interests, small details that change as life changes. This layered approach adds depth, without adding chaos. Function matters just as much as beauty. A space must work for real life. Coffee cups, homework, pets, movement. When function and beauty support each other, a home becomes both calming and resilient. The same balance applies in professional spaces. A thoughtfully chosen piece of art or a well-placed bookshelf can humanize a room without distracting from its purpose. Every space benefits from a clear focal point. Something that gently anchors the room. When everything competes for attention, nothing feels settled. But when one element leads, and the rest support, the space feels intentional. This quiet hierarchy helps both visitors and the people who live there understand what matters most. Visual clutter isn't always about quantity. Often, it's about scale and texture. When everything is the same size, the same finish, the same visual weight, the eye has nowhere to land. Variation brings ease. Different heights. Different materials. A balance of matte and reflective surfaces. This variety creates interest without overload. A lived-in home must also be sustainable. Easy to maintain. Easy to adjust. Simple routines prevent everyday items from taking over meaningful surfaces. And occasional rotation keeps the space aligned with who you are now, not just who you were years ago. The most meaningful spaces feel grounded in history and open to the future. They honor what's been lived while leaving room for what's still becoming. The goal isn't perfection. It's authenticity, expressed with care, intention, and visual calm. If this way of thinking about home feels familiar to you, we're quietly working on something you may enjoy. A small collection shaped around calm, intention, and spaces that feel good to live in. It's not open yet. But if you'd like to be notified when it is, you can join our email list using the link below. No pressure. Just a gentle heads up when the time feels right.